Welcome to Fantasy Bout Hour, the channel dedicated to bringing you fantasy matchups on a regular basis. If there's a fight you want me to cover, please leave it in the comment section, and I promise to honor your request. Hello once again, boxing family, and welcome back to another prediction video. And I thank you once again for tuning in. Before I get into this fight request, I would just ask that you would just share, like, hit the bell notification. And as always, if you're watching, you might as well subscribe. It's just the press of a button. Please help me out. I'd really appreciate it. So the fight I'm covering in this video comes by way of request, and it is another good one from Peter Garcia. I thank you, Peter, for this request, and I thank you for your participation in the channel. This is a good one. And this is a fight between Oscar the Golden Boy de la Hoya and Terence Bud Crawford. And it's a very interesting fight because I believe it would be a high-speed chess match, with Oscar de la Hoya's speed and reflexes versus Terence Bud Crawford's timing and speed. Now, both guys are equally talented, in my opinion, but we do know that Oscar de la Hoya came from a tougher era to where they were fighting multiple times a year. And it seems that back then they were tougher and they had more punch resistance, and they could dish it out as well as they could take it. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that Oscar de la Hoya has only been stopped 2 times over the course of a long career. And so that's pretty good. So my point is that Oscar de la Hoya would put up more of a fight and would put up more resistance than Terence Bud Crawford is used to. Now, that's not to say that Terence Bud Crawford, with his skills, couldn't rise to the occasion, but it just adds another dynamic to the fight. Now, as far as I'm concerned, Oscar de la Hoya fought in the best era in the history of boxing, which was the 90s into the late 2000s. And he's been in there with the likes of Sweet Pea Pernell Whitaker, Felix Tito Trinidad, Julio Cesar Chavez, Ike Corte, just to name a few. And I think you get my point. And all I'm saying is Oscar was extremely seasoned against the best fighters. And so I consider this a battle of one of the best pure boxers, which is Terence Crawford, against one of the best boxer punchers, which is Oscar de la Hoya. Now, because of Oscar's pedigree and experience, I really don't see him being in danger of being seriously hurt. However, Terence Bud Crawford, with his skills, speed, impeccable timing, hand speed, and ring IQ, can pile up points easily. Now, I believe Oscar is stronger, more durable, and has the better chin. And as good as Terence Bud Crawford is, he's not used to fighting someone who won't lay down for him. And that's not to say that his opponents don't initially show up to fight. But once they come face to face with that level of skill, they can easily check out. But something else that we must consider, and this isn't really my opinion, it's more facts, and that is, look at fighters who are great adjusters. Fighters like Terence Bud Crawford, Andre Ward, Bernard Hopkins, and Floyd Money Mayweather. And fighters like this always find a way. Now, Oscar de la Hoya usually enjoy the advantages of a toe-to-toe battle. And a fighter like Oscar loves exchanges. But if we look back in his career at fighters who truly gave him trouble, we'll see that those fighters were technicians, were pure boxers, and were true ring generals. And the fighters on Oscar's resume that comes to mind is Ike Corte, Floyd Money Mayweather, and Bernard Hopkins. But Oscar does have an underrated jab. On the rare occasions he actually decides to use it. But the thing I've noticed about pure boxers is they don't fight on emotion. They are calculating, and strictly cerebral fighters. And so I see Oscar going in there with the heart of a lion, playing to the crowd sometimes, while Terence Bud Crawford is probably going to be more focused and about business. Now, this fight is definitely going the distance, but the Terence Bud Crawford I saw take Errol Spence to school in a brutal fashion, at this time, I have a really hard time seeing him lose. And I've thought of every possible scenario. But on the other hand, Oscar De La Hoya is not the fighter that Terence Bud Crawford is going to beat into submission. But with his superior skills and abilities, I see Terence Bud Crawford winning a close split decision. Those are my thoughts. Please let me know what you think. I'll see you soon.